They'll talk to a law firm that cares so much about their clients. It's why they're there. It's why they became attorneys in the first place. And I say, did you know that it is actually an obligation and responsibility of yours to be found by more people? Because there's a lot of, unfortunately, not great law firms that don't have the same best interests you have.
Peter, while many law firms excel at delivering great settlement outcomes and verdicts, all too often their business operations suffer or lack the attention or structure to support that success. What are the most important areas law firms need to focus on to improve their bottom lines?
I would look at it in terms of each segment of the law firm and what that segment is doing to contribute to the outcome of a client coming in, being addressed and handled, successful, and then having the outcome that they should have. I would say marketing and how they're acquiring their clients would be step one, okay? Marketing, advertising, networking, word of mouth, even if it's street traffic, if you have a law firm that's in a highly trafficked area, look at that segment as one segment by itself. And how are you maximizing dollars spent to acquire cases? Sometimes that means spending more money. Sometimes the law firm is spending the same amount that they've spent for the last 5 to 10 years because it's comfortable and it's easy. And guess what happens? It carries over. They get a new agency, a new marketing partner, and they ask, which is silly for the marketing company to ask this question because it's really within their purview to actually tell the client based on case type and geography and what the goals are, what the budget should be. But that is an aside. They say, okay, Mr. Law Firm client, what's your budget? And they say, oh, well, it's X thousands of dollars per month. And they go, okay, perfect. We'll do our best. And they go, perfect. And everyone goes on with their day. But the problem is it doesn't work because that was perhaps an effective budget 5 to 10 years ago. And guess what? It's gotten way more competitive. So a new analysis needs to be done to understand opportunity cost. Is it costing the firm money to not spend and be placed so that way they can get the actual cases they should so they're continuing to grow and help people? One of the things that is always the most sad is I'll talk to a law firm that cares so much about their clients. It's why they're there. It's why they became attorneys in the first place. And I say, did you know that it is actually an obligation and responsibility of yours to be found by more people? Because there's a lot of, unfortunately, not great law firms that don't have the same best interests you have. So every client that doesn't find you, that goes to some other law firm that gets a questionable experience or sometimes a bad experience, you own a piece of that responsibility. And I want you to know that. And they say, Peter, you know what? I've never been told that bluntly either. And I said, good, because it's true. So let's talk about how we can get you to help more people. So that's just one segment. The intake is definitely another. That's one of the biggest areas that is like the sleeper area that everyone thinks is doing great and is actually not doing that great. If you call someone back once, that's not good enough. Or twice or 3 times. You need to have a plan, and the plan needs to be well thought out. It needs to be, what are each one of the things that you're going to say, and how are you reaching out with text message and email and phone call to really make sure it's doing the best way it can. That will improve the bottom line. Looking at your operational efficiency and understanding how to leverage the technology you have and maybe some of the technology you don't have to fill in some gaps. Maybe you don't have all the personnel. Sometimes I talk to law firms and they say, Peter, do you know how hard it is to find good talent? And I said, did you know how easy it is to use technology today to do that same thing that you can actually get? And it is high quality and it has correct reporting. So there's a lot of options out here that are available. But if you just look at each one and assess how well is this really doing, you can really determine how to affect your bottom line in a positive way.